In a reminiscence recorded in 2005, Marty and Peter Kaus, 1985 president of the center, and members Randy Durand, Mike Simmons, and Sid Meshkoff discussed the inception of the winter conferences.
Well, as a skier, I wanted to come here during the winter and have a physics and ski conference. There had been models of this earlier in Morillon, in Europe, and there had been nothing like it in the United States, to the best of my knowledge. There had been summer conferences and this, that, and the other thing, but there had never been a winter conference. But everybody said, no, you can't do it for various reasons. One of the reasons they said is Aspen's too expensive, it'll be impossible to do.
It will look like a boondoggle.
It will look like a boondoggle, sound like a boondoggle, and if it looks and sounds like it, it must be.
Yeah. And as we discovered, once the things got started, another part of it was that a lot of physicists don't ski.
Yeah. Well,
we discovered that when some of them tried.
I didn't know any of this, so when Marty came and proposed this winter conference, I thought it was a good idea. And
As president.
I was president at the time, so I went to the trustees. The trustees said yes.
Trustees said yes as an experiment. It was,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that's right. Yes, it was
so-
an experiment. All right.
So obviously you have to perform the experiment. So
Well, the
we got an
experiment was-
organizing committee.
I'm sorry, Peter. The experiment was very different, though, because today the center runs the meeting. The center finances it. The center is behind the meeting. The center is fiscally responsible for everything that goes on. First two meetings, this was not the case at all. The center gave us the place. The center did not give us any money.
part of it was that the center's budget was still very limited
That's
at that
right.
point, and there was a feeling that this is going to cost the center money because we had to pay staff, and we're increasing the amount of time that staff had to be around.
Yes.
And the staff weren't enthusiastic about being around extra time, so it was all sort of shaky.
Yes.
In any case, it was an experiment, and that's what an experiment is. You try something
I
out.
just wanted to add that because at that time, January was low part of the high season. And so Marty was able to negotiate good rates for us to have our housing.
I had to demonstrate to Washington that I could run the conference more cheaply in Aspen than in Evanston.
Yeah.
That was a key issue. So I made up a budget for Evanston and I made up a budget for Aspen. And the Aspen budget won. At that point, people at the DOE started talking seriously to me because they were terribly worried about having this kind of meeting and how it would look. And this plagued us for the first couple of years, this kind of work ethic involved. It was marvelous, though, that we succeeded both on the national and international level of establishing this set of meetings as one of the premier conference series in the world now. And I'm very pleased that we really did have fun doing it.
The winter conferences now take place here in Flug Forum at the Aspen Center for Physics during January and February. The demanding schedule envisioned by the first organizers is still adhered to. There's a welcoming reception on Sunday evening, and the talks begin at 8 a.m. sharp, Monday through Friday. For 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the afternoon, the physicists present their research and answer questions. A group dinner follows, but there's a midday break from 11 to 4:30 when the skiers, beginners, and experts head for the lifts, where they can digest and discuss the papers they've heard, share new insights, and collaborate. And this is what makes the Aspen Winter Conference unique. From the beginning, Marty and his wife, Beata, made sure that the intense meetings were balanced with intense recreation.
We felt that one afternoon during this whole week of meetings, there should be an afternoon off for everybody, not going back at 4 o'clock for the sessions, and just having ski races, competitive. Everyone had to participate. No one was permitted to not participate. We had a cheering squad. The kids of some of the conferees that were attending made, what would you call it?
Pom-poms.
Pom-poms to cheer on their favorite racer. And the racing was timed by the timing devices on the ski
NASCAR
slope, which
NASCAR
was
course.
the NASCAR course. And we had anticipated an awards dinner. So before we came to Aspen, we had trophies made. So there was first place, there was second place, there was third place, there was last place, there was who had the most falls place, and when there was the injured award. And unfortunately I think it was the first winter meeting, that there were 3 knee injuries. We only had 1 medal. So then I think it was Martin that decided that we needed to see the hospital bills. And the one that had the highest hospital bill was awarded the Medal of the Wounded Knee. And so on. And it was just hilarity in between serious physics.
Well, the Europeans that were there that rode shotgun on the stagecoach that we hired to come from the meadows to the historical society, screaming cowboy notes on the top of their lungs. It was quite a sight. Now, we had a great time. Everybody enjoyed it.
You know, the conference itself really was a big scientific success.
Yes, it
And
was.
it kind of reminds me of Aspen itself. I came here in the early days, and you could put in a full day's work at the Physics Center and still do some fishing or play some tennis and feel more productive because of the lack of distractions. And even though we were skiing in the middle of the day and conferring in the morning and the evening, it really was a full day of conference, and it was very, very good.